live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125. Of course, all our social media handles will join news on TV. Coming up, the Coalition of Law Associates instructs all private developers who have started or intend to start work on La lands to halt all projects while traditional authorities engage government on the reversal of ownership of their lands as they allege the continuous sale of their lands by government to politically affiliated persons.
We are by this media briefing asking all private developers who have started or intend to start some work on these lands to, as a matter of urgency, halt.
Also in this bulletin, KNUST students occupying a 3-story accommodation facility destroyed by fire provided temporary accommodation by school authorities as the fire service declares portions of the building structurally unsound. We'll hear from the students as they count their losses. Also, Ministry of Health dispute claims that it paid $34.9 million to Service Auto Group Ghana Limited for the maintenance of 370 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter ambulances. 307 will have details as the ministry clarifies only $10 million has been allocated for the contract. We have business, sports and showbiz all coming up within the next 60 minutes. My name is Faustina Safo. Take a seat, be my guest. Staying with us. Now, a 3-story accommodation facility named Father Hostel for KNUST students has been razed by fire on Thursday night. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but it severely damaged the building. 9 rooms were reduced to rubble, leaving students devastated and frightened. Although no injuries were reported, 9 students lost all their belongings and have no place to stay. The fire began in one room and quickly spread, consuming valuables in minutes. Eyewitnesses note a 30-minute delay in reaching the KNUST Fire Department. The remaining portion of the building is structurally unsound and uninhabitable. Well, Clinton Yeboah has been engaging the students. He joins me live from Kumasi. Clinton, do we know what caused this fire?
Faustina, currently we do not have access to the information, or we have not yet concluded on what caused the fire. But the people that have been engaging and residents who live around the hostel say they suspect some negligence in terms of some cooking activities that went on. Some are also saying, especially victims are also saying that there were some occupants in the other room who sell burgers. And so they suspect their fire activities could have sparked the fire outbreak last night.
Now, tell us the level of damage caused.
Currently, these are students, and this facility is a student facility. They have their books, they have all their stationery here, and these are highly inflammable material. And so when they catch fire, you can imagine the intensity that it will go. And also for the fire service to have delayed for about 30 minutes, the fire extended to areas and gutted a lot of things. Currently, this morning when I visited the site, you can see rubbles, you can see the remains of all wooden structures, all materials in rooms in the facility have been destroyed.
I hear there has been some sort of intervention for affected students. Tell us more.
Yes, that is true. Management and some leaders of the Student Representative Council were here this morning to register the victims. What happened last night was that some of the victims were brought together and relocated to the SRC hostel, and it was continued this morning where the rest and those who were affected and were unknown were also registered to receive the intervention and the relocation.
Thank you, Clinton. We'll be monitoring the situation and give you updates as and when we have it. Now, the Coalition of Law Association and the Gadangme Coalition Against Land Justice say they will embark on a series of demonstrations from the 30th of July in demand for the immediate reversal of government and other private ownership of their lands. The two groups are raising concerns about how lands on their soil are being sold out to alleged politically affiliated persons. The groups have since instructed all private developers who have started or intend to start work on their lands to, as a matter of urgency, halt the process, while the traditional authorities engage government on the matter. Jeffrey Tete is spokesperson for the Coalition of Law Associates.
Other areas in contention, as I above mentioned, many others have come under scrutiny for being sold to politicians, politically exposed persons, or some other private developers under the so-called government redevelopment program, a scheme which is violently against the interests of the pre-acquisition owners or pre-acquisition land owners. These lands include, but not limited to, the parcel of land under the parks and gardens at cantonments, several state housing properties at South Laboni and cantonments, the Ministry of Agric lands beside Burma Camp overpass, and the judges' bungalows, which has also come into the public domain in cantonments in recent times. We are, by this media briefing, asking all private developers who have started or intend to start some work on these lands to, as a matter of urgency, halt while the traditional authorities engage with government on the matter. We also call on government to treat our chiefs with the same level of respect it accords to traditional leaders from other parts of the country. It is time for every king, chief, queen, and all other traditional leaders to rally support for the La and Gadangme people in this national fight against land injustice to avert possible replication of same in other places when the lands in Accra have been completely dissipated. It may be asked today, and if you do not support our cry, it may or it would be in your jurisdiction tomorrow. So all hands should get on deck, and this fight should not be left to the La people and the Gadangme people alone. The Coalition of La Associations, that's COLA, and the Gadangme Coalition Against Land Injustice are also announcing by this press briefing a series of demonstrations commencing on Tuesday, July 30th, 2024, to drive home our displeasure and demand the reversal of all affected transactions. The Coalition of La Associations and its Gadangme partners believe that the people of Gadangme, and in particular those from La, have not been treated fairly compared to people from other parts of the country. It is only when this is done that we can be at peace and be guaranteed of a peaceful coexistence with all other people.
The Ministry of Health has disputed claims that it paid $34.9 million to Service Auto Group Ghana Limited for the maintenance of 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter ambulances. The ministry clarified that only $10 million has been allocated towards this proposed project amidst funding challenges. Now, Norton MP Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, we know, petitioned the OSP to look into the deal, which he says is a total ripoff. The Health Ministry has released a statement to provide clarity on the issue. On your screens now, that statement is coming up shortly. The first paragraph, they acknowledge the concerns raised by Member of Parliament for Norton Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, reflecting in various media reports regarding the service contract between the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives and Service Ghana Auto Group Limited. Now, they state the facts, and that's in the next slide. Fact number 1, they say that on September 10, 2020, the Ministry of Special Development Initiative signed a contract with Service Auto Group Ghana Limited for the provision of after-sales service and maintenance for 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 315 CD1 ambulances. Now, they say the contract stipulated that the supplier shall provide the client with a projected budget for requisite spare parts and lubricants to ensure the smooth servicing and maintenance of the fleet. Since the inception of the contract, they say that the Ministry of Special Development Initiative has utilized a portion of its annual budget allocation to support the National Ambulance Service and fund the maintenance agreement. However, they say following the dissolution of the Ministry of Special Development Initiatives, the Special Initiative Development Secretariat took over the execution of the contract. Now, on 10th of March 2023, the Office of the Chief of Staff requested the Ministry of Health to explore ways to support the National Ambulance Service in maintaining the fleet of ambulances due to Parliament's refusal to approve the budget estimates of the Special Initiative Development Secretariat for the 2023 fiscal year. Now, subsequently, they say the Ministry of Health wrote to the Ministry of Finance requesting the establishment of letters of credit for an amount of over $34 million on behalf of the Service of Ghana Auto Group Limited for the procurement of spare parts for the ambulances. They go on to say the Ministry of Finance responded, indicating it could only fund up to $10 billion of the requested amount, and recommended that the Ministry of Health explore financing the difference through the National Health Insurance Authority. Now, finally, they say the NIA, in correspondence with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Finance, stated it was unable to fund the cost of the procurement of the spare parts as part of the 10% allocation to the Ministry of Health because this was not captured in the allocation formula approved by Parliament. For further details of that statement is on myjoyonline.com. Now, the Minister of State at the office of the President, Ambrose Dery, has debunked allegations that Dr. Bawumia's campaign team was harboring persons whose credibility was suspicious. Chief Executive Officer of a defunct microfinance company in a viral video is seen presenting a white smock to the flag bearer of the NPP during his recent campaign tour to Nandom, which got the tongues of critics of the NPP waggling. Ambrose Dery, in an exclusive interview with John News, says the defunct CEO, the CEO of defunct DKM, did no wrong, as he is a member of the Nandom royal family and a member of the NPP.
Hostel's top campaign tour of Vice President and flag bearer of the new Patriotic Party, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. 4 days, 11 constituencies, and one moment of probable controversy which their opponents are bent on cashing in. This picture of the defunct Chief Executive Officer of DKM, Dikumuni Martin Dele, which was posted on social media, presenting a white smoke to Dr. Bawumia on behalf of the Nandom royal family, got thanks wagging. The Dr. Bawumia campaign team is accused of harboring persons who have checkered history and, for that matter, having suspicious credibility. Former Interior Minister and Member of Parliament for Nandom, Ambrose Dery, however, thinks otherwise and explains further in this interview.
As far as I know, GKM is not a criminal. He has not been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction for anything. And I think I should as well take this opportunity to put things in context. The issue that came up and people are beginning to talk of DKM was about seeing DKM on TV holding a white smoke with the flag bearer of the MPP. And that is because DKM is a member of the royal family of the London traditional area. And the London now Professor Dele had asked that smoke be given to the vice president. He was sitting on his throne, and therefore DKM held the smoke and they stretched it to the vice president. If you recall, was grilled by Parliament my second vet for my second term as Minister for Interior on DKM, and I made things clear to them. Martin Dele had a duly registered financial institution with the Bank of Ghana, and therefore Bank of Ghana had a duty to be monitoring it. When it happened and all the investigations came out, because he had registered, there was a liquidator who was appointed. Liquidator took over the company, liquidated it, made the money he could get from the assets, and therefore paid all people who the company owed. And that's what it is.
Turning to the 2024 general election, the Minister of State averred that will be taken in power by Ghanaians due to the programs and policies embarked on, which has impacted positively on the lives of the people. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Jireba.
Well, the National Media Commission is this afternoon encouraging the media to investigate claims made by political actors in the heat of campaigning for the upcoming general election in December. Executive Secretary George Sapon believes the media has a fact-finding role to play and ensuring that the NMC is ready to support them all through the way. Nana Jima has more in this report.
The deliberate spread of false information to deceive people for personal gains has heightened, partly due to technological advancement. Few months to the general elections, some political actors have devised means to disinform the public for political power. In serving the interest of the public, the National Media Commission believes the media will need to develop tools to identify disinformation. Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapon, says the media should be courageous to refute false information.
In the post-truth period, anybody can pick together, piece materials together and seek to lie, particularly on elections. Claims about Electoral Commission officials haven't done ABCD that has no foundation. In most cases, if you professional journalists investigated the stories and told people the truth, the matter ends there. So we say you are the legitimators of public truth. Because when almost everything that comes on social media starts like a rumor. But when you come out and say you've investigated, this is the truth, it settles the matter. So that's all that we are asking you to do this time. Develop the tools for identifying the trends in disinformation. And please do well to investigate these claims and tell the public the truth.
The National Media Commission is envisaging threats associated with dealing with misinformation. Mr. Sapon has assured the Commission's readiness to offer support to journalists.
If a politician is seeking to tell lies to gain an advantage, then when you tell the truth, you've taken his advantage away. So if he's invested in that lie, you become his enemy. Basic. And we've seen it happen too many times. They are telling lies, but they want to benefit from the lies, and they want to keep their reputation. When you expose the truth, they lose the gain they want from the lie, and they also lose their reputation. So that makes you a target for their attack. We are saying we are going to work together this time and make sure that you are protected, and if anybody tries to harm you, they are held liable.
Meanwhile, the National Media Commission has inaugurated the Ashanti Regional Media Advocacy Committee to promote media safety and responsibility in the election period. The committee will also help fight disinformation. For Joy News, Nanaya Jima, Kumasi.
The chairman of the National Peace Council, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, has asserted that even though the 2020 general election were largely peaceful, the Peace Council have concerns when the nation experiences pockets of unrest, reckless utterances, among others. He said the violence that characterized the elections in some constituents would continue to be a dent to the image of the country. There's more in this report.
The series is the second after a similar one was held ahead of the 2020 elections. The series, organized by the Peace Council, seeks to foster unity and to contribute in ensuring peaceful and credible elections. Dr. Edujemfi said, to move beyond our collective pain to a place of healing, the National Peace Council engaged people who were affected in the elections.
The National Peace Council engaged stakeholders in the 5 constituencies where the unfortunate loss of lives occurred, namely Ewutu Senya, Odododiodio, Ablekuma Central, Techiman South, and Savulugu. The lessons learned and the recommendations from these engagements were documented to serve as building blocks for a 3-day national dialogue that took place from 29th June to the 1st of July 2021 in Adan. The national dialogue developed a roadmap that sought to counter election-related violence and strengthen processes to building a greater cohesion, political tolerance, and nation building. One of the recommendations from the National Dialogue was to institute a platform for inter-party dialogue for regular consensus building. The Peace Council is happy to report that since January 2023, that goal has been achieved.
The Peace Council chairperson said democracies around the world are under attack, adding that not even the champions of democracy have been spared.
Looking at events around the world, it appears democracies across the globe are under attack, to the extent that the champions of democracy, the United States of America, has not even been spared. Election, which is in many democracies is accepted as the mechanism for choosing leaders for states, have now become a ground for violence.
Deputy Special Representative of the Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Ms. Berry Freeman, said social media had the potential of triggering violence if people use it wrongly.
This year's elections, the 9th since 1992, will again test the resilience of Ghana's democratic process. Misinformation and disinformation that spreads all too quickly on social media, youth's disenchantment with politics, socioeconomic hardship, and a rise in inflammatory statements and hate speech. These are all factors that could unleash negative passions and trigger violence during the electoral period.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Alhassan Shaibu, said instability in neighboring countries should remind Ghanaians to opt for peace.
Instability in neighboring countries reminds us of the importance of conflict prevention. Ghana's discovery of oil, the challenge of illegal mining, and the potential for resource-related conflicts further emphasizes the need for proactive measures to maintain peace.
The honorific lecture and awards held at Kofi Ohene-Konadu Auditorium at the University of Professional Studies saw many dignitaries, lawyers, lecturers and students troop in to celebrate the lifetime achievement of Nana Dr. SKB Asante. All in attendance showed their appreciation and admiration for the honorees impacting Ghana's democracy and the good work accomplished in over 3 decades. Loisa Deyemi has more in this report.
The University of Professional Studies held an honorific lecture and award ceremony in recognition of the massive achievements attained through the works of law practitioner, statesman, academic and traditional leader, Dr. Nana SKB Asante. Many trooped into the Kofi Ohene-Konadu Auditorium to celebrate his dedication and the great impact he has made in Ghana for over 2 decades. Rich displays of culture and overflowing appellations were thrown at his feet to commend him for the good work done. The Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokono, who was also present at the ceremony, commended Nana for contributing to shaping Ghana's democracy and justice delivery.
The definition and clarification of honor, outplayed through the words exposition of life work and eulogies expressed here tonight, therefore provides an opportunity for generations behind Nana to appreciate what citizens must necessarily prioritize as true virtue. Nana's life mirrors the virtue, dedication, and service that every nation needs to become great and strong. Nana Nyamin Shrao.
Well, CH Foundation, a non-governmental organization dedicated to improving educational infrastructure, has refurbished and handed over a newly renovated two-story classroom block at the St. Maurice Catholic Junior High School at La in the Greater Accra region to address the pressing need for improved learning environments in the school. Now, during the handing over ceremony, Cynthia Dakom Akwe, the Chief Operation Officer of CH Foundation, emphasized the organization's unwavering commitment to enhancing educational opportunities for children. There's more in this report.
As part of its mandate to renovate dilapidated school facilities and build classroom blocks for schools learning on the trees, CH Foundation has refurbished and handed over a two-story classroom block to St. Maurice Catholic School located at La in the Greater Accra region. Speaking to Joy News at the handover, Chief Operations Officer of the Foundation, Cynthia Dako Akwe, reiterated the Foundation's commitment to education.
So it's not just this area. If you followed our group for the last 25 years, we have been making an impact across Ghana. We've built quite a number of boreholes in the country. We've done so many other things. We've donated into orphanages. We've supported the medical system. But over the last 5 years, our focus has been on education. And so, if you remember, a while back, a school roof fell down on a child and killed that child in Brema Jamra. So we went to redevelop that school. In addition to that, we have taken it upon ourselves as CH Group to help eradicate the schools under tree syndrome. And so last year, we handed over a school in Insuta, where there was really no structure in that school. The kids were learning under trees. And so we went in to develop a junior school block and a nursery, a creche, a head teacher's office, classrooms and offices for the teachers. And so St. Maurice is not the only one that we've been to. And that's why we came here. But beyond here, we've already done schools and we are still going on because we have 50 schools to hand over.
The refurbished classroom block at St. Maurice Catholic School is expected to significantly impact students' learning experience, offering them a more comfortable and secure place to study. This project is one of the many that CH Foundation has undertaken to support education in under-resourced areas. The students spoke to Joy News.
I'm happy because they have renovated our school for us. Because at first we were not comfortable, and now we are happy again. We want to thank them, and we say a very big thank you to them. How the school was before we came here, the school was maybe the ceiling was down, and the ceiling, all of the classrooms was dirty. So they take us to Wireless before they renovated the school. But now we have books and things that we can put it in the library to help us to learn more. We thank the municipal people who help us to give the books. We thank them and we thank the teachers too as well.
You're watching Joy News today. We'll be back with business, sports and showbiz, to stay tuned in.
Welcome back to Business on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki, and our first business story. Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Ophelia Mensah-Hayford, has reiterated the government's commitment to implementing policies to build resilience against climate change. She says the government will continue to champion eco-friendly practices and advocate for fair access to resources, ensuring climate action. Hayford was speaking at the E2A conference in Accra.
The E2A 2024 conference explored the linkages and synergies between resilience and climate change adaptation, addressing critical impacts of climate change in Africa. Minister of Environment, Science and Technology, Ophelia Mensah-Hayford, said more policies have been implemented by government to build resilience against climate change.
Implementing early warning systems that provide timely and relevant information about anticipated shocks such as storms, surges, rainfall intensity, drought enables communities, authorities, and people to take appropriate action to mitigate their efforts. Putting in place systems to protect natural capital, example, mangroves, forests, reefs, and soils, and physical capital such as houses, shelters, roads, and water systems from the impact of climate change. Establishing social protection schemes for affected communities has become more than urgent, considering the cases of over 26,000 people who were affected in October 2023 flooding in the southeastern part of Ghana.
The event brought together experts from over 40 countries to discuss innovative research and practical solutions for climate change challenges in Africa.
Minister of Energy Herbert Krapper says the government will improve the country's power generation capacity. According to him, the government is putting in place key measures to foster collaborations and attract more foreign investors to expand investment to aid the government achieve its target of net zero emissions by 2060. He was speaking at the launch of the largest single-route solar project at the Tema Free Zones Enclave.
The solar project will be the largest solar plant in Africa and the second in the world, and would pave the way for companies to produce green products, a requirement to gain access to the European market. Once in use, it is projected that the solar system will annually produce 24,750 megawatts of clean, stable and sustainable electricity. Minister of Energy Herbert Krapper said the rooftop project was significant, explaining that it would increase the country's renewable energy stock to more than 200 megawatt installed capacity, representing 4.2%.
The government is also very equally proud of you for that contribution. I should also talk about the impact that this project has on industry. For someone who is coming from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, I, more than anyone, understand the impact of cost of power in industry, in being competitive in manufacturing and in production. What you have done in helping to contribute to power distribution here in this enclave, and of course, because solar over time has reduced costs in the mix. You are helping to power industry, and you're helping industry to also meet their green credentials, something that puts them in the right stead globally in helping to attract more investment into their businesses.
That'll be all for business here on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki. We have more news for you after this break. Stay tuned.
Time now to bring you sports on Joy News today with me, Muftaro Nabila Abdullah. The opening ceremony of Paris 2024 will be happening later tonight. Ghana's flag will be handled by Joseph Paul Amoah, who is part of the country's quartet for the Olympic Games, and Rose Yeboah, the first woman ever to secure qualification to represent the country in an Olympic competition, which is the high jump. She says that it is an honor to handle the flag of the country at a global event like this one.
Good. Being the first Ghanaian female high jumper to represent my country is such a great achievement. So I think it feels good to be part of the flag bearers, and I'm also happy about that because this is my first time. Getting into the boats and on water. So I feel it's such a great achievement for me. Into a competition like this, everybody mindset into the competition is to go in there, do their best, and also qualify for the finals. So anytime I'm going into a competition, I make sure I picture everything in mind, and so that whenever I get into the pit, I see whatever I'm going to do over there, so that it doesn't make any different to me. So I feel it's something that I always do. I always imagine it in my mind. So as soon as I get into the pit, it looks simple for me.
Risha was speaking there to my colleague Natalia Ato. And on Saturday evening, we'll be bringing you Prime Take with former Chief Executive Officer of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Opokinti. He says serving as the CEO of the club was a sacrificial job he did.
It's also go back to sacrificial job I did for Kotoko. Yeah,
I did a sacrificial job for Kotoko.
Yeah, I did a lot. Because you see, I took over from, even though I didn't know that it would happen, from Dr. Kiki Sapo. I was part of his management. I was a special advisor to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when he resigned, then Kotoko will be stuck. You have to wait. And so, Oton for Osetitu the second. I salute you, Nana. Call me that said I should steer their affairs until they put the structures, which is the board and the management will come. So I did it for 3 months. I was rating with him, one-on-one, everything. Then came the board. Now, the board was given to me. My job description up to now was a question mark. Then I knew that the board was supposed to refinance the club, but I was doing that myself.
Tune in to Joy News at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday for Prime Take with Opoko. That's your sports. For now, we do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com.
Good afternoon. You're welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansama Yebwa. Now, is Highlife truly Ghanaian? Ethnomusicologist Professor John Collins says yes, dismissing claims that Liberians are the real creators of the genre. We have more in this report.
There's a popular belief that coup sailors from Liberia taught Ghanaian guitarists the two-finger-picking technique, suggesting they introduced Highlife. But Professor Collins says that doesn't make them the owners of the genre. Speaking on Joy FM's Showbiz A to Z with Kwame Dazi, he explained that while some West African countries play Highlife, it was actually created by Ghanaians in the 1920s.
Some people have
adduced as a reason the fact that the cruise sailors from Liberia met some of our musicians right here and taught them the two-finger picking technique as a reason they lay claim to Highlife as theirs. Is there any truth in this?
Well, it wasn't Highlife. You see, the crew people did develop distinct ways of playing the guitar on the high seas in the 19th century. Crews were recruited on board a lot of steamships and sailing ships by the Europeans and Americans. So they picked up the Spanish guitar, but they didn't use the Spanish way of playing or picking the strings. They used the typical African one, which is, you can still see it if you look at King Ayasoba, the way that the Africans play the lute. It's a two-finger technique. And that's what the crew people spread down the West African coast. But it wasn't Highlife. It was a sort of an element of Highlife. And so in Ghana, it was absorbed into Sibi Saba music. And in Sierra Leone, it was absorbed into the Maringa style. In Nigeria, it was absorbed into the Juju and native blues styles. So what we can say that the crew people didn't invent Highlife, but they created a very important ingredient of Highlife, which is a specific way of playing the guitar. And they introduced it to Ghana, around about 1900.
Despite the ongoing debates, experts like Professor Collins have always said that Highlife started in Ghana. They've written books, held workshops, and made documentaries about it. To add to Ghana's case, UNESCO is thinking about listing Highlife as Ghana's intangible cultural heritage. Recently, Amasewa Nekwetete, the Secretary General of the Ghana Commission for UNESCO, said that Highlife will soon be officially recognized. So, while the debate about Highlife's roots may continue, Ghana is making strong moves to claim this musical treasure. Jacqueline and Sumaya Boy's report, read to you.
Well, yesterday, Ghanaians honored the spirit and resilience and freedom with the Emancipation Day relaying ceremonies at the W.E.B. Du Bois Center, George Padmore Library, and the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Well, this tribute by the Ghana Tourism Authority brought history of our ancestors to life.
In a nod to the struggles and triumphs of African ancestors, Emancipation Day commemorates the 1834 abolition of slavery in the British Empire, highlighting Ghana's crucial role as a hub in the transatlantic slave trade. This day serves as a reminder to ensure that the horrors of slave trade are not forgotten and that the stories of our ancestors continue to inspire future generations. At the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Agyemang, underscored the importance of Emancipation Day, urging everyone to remember and honor the past.
A lot of our forebears and ancestors died with their names gone. But these three gentlemen, the Trinity as we call them, decided to devote their time, effort, and their lives for our freedom. And so that is why we always reflect on what they did and how you and I can also continue that struggle. And so yes, the chains are off, the shackles are off, but we still have a lot of work to do on our minds. So we should emancipate ourselves from mental slavery.
Emancipation Day isn't just about looking back. It's about forging a future where the spirits of our ancestors live on.
Note is a wrap for the showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Suma Yabwa. Over to you, Faustina.
Thank you, Jacqueline, for bringing us showbiz. I know artificial intelligence is here to stay. So
I know, right?
Let's see how long this strike action would be for.
Yeah, I'm hoping they reach some sort of agreement.
Yeah, and we're hoping that they come to some agreement. Well, for more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina. So for some top stories on myjoyonline.com, Health Ministry replies that Blackwell says $34.9 million ambulance spare parts deal signed in 2020, not 2024. Up next is the marketplace. Have a pleasant day as you enjoy the rest of our program.